Hezbollah perfected cash smuggling, informal financial transactions over decades. But we are in a new decade where cryptocurrency also can fill this role. To what extent is Hezbollah using cryptocurrency to deal with its money laundering and financial transactions?
Thank you. To my information, they definitely are using cryptocurrency in Lebanon. They're focusing a lot on cryptocurrency because they understand that most of the pressure is coming today on the cash flow, their cash flow, and especially that their cash flow has been affected today by they lost Syria, they're losing Venezuela, they're afraid they're going to lose Iran. So there's a lot of cash flow, hard currency flow that they're not getting anymore. And they're worried about, they might have gotten 1 billion this year, but 1 billion is definitely not enough for this group in order to not only pay salaries and provide benefits, but also provide compensation and rent for those who lost their homes, and also for reconstruction. So the cash is not happening.
And I might add, and graft for the top leaders as well, isn't he?
Yes, absolutely.
Expensive part of Hezbollah's
operation.
So I'm going to interrupt you there. I don't know if the other witnesses have anything more specific to say about crypto, so I'm going to go on to Mr. Schechter. Representative Tenney and I have been leading an effort here in Congress that is to try to push Europe to designate the Iran Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps as a terrorist organization. We've long championed that. There are others who have, of course, pushed the EU, and it looks like that will happen. France has taken an interest in Lebanon for well over a century and played a substantial role in Lebanon for well over 100 years. Do you see any potential to build on the momentum of the EU designating the IRGC and get France to change its policy and designate all of Hezbollah, not just the military wing, as a terrorist organization?
Thanks for the question, Representative Sherman. France has long viewed Hezbollah as having two wings, the political wing and the military wing, and this is a useful carve-out for their engagement with Lebanon. To be fair, that same formulation is what Tom Barak, the special envoy of the administration, has used. Right? He said it's a political party, as you said earlier, with a militia or with a militant element. No, this is a terrorist organization. It's a bird. It needs both wings to fly, right? And so whether France will go in that direction, I think it's going to be a stretch for them. For me, it's obvious, but France likes to have, I think, all doors open with Lebanon, and this would close off doors for them, certainly, and perhaps ultimately, like Americans, put their people on the ground at risk. So I don't think they're going to be so inclined to take that step.
Ms. Stroll, what tools does the U.S. have to incentivize faster, more aggressive action on Hezbollah disarmament from the Lebanese government and armed forces?
Thank you for the question. So the United States has a variety of tools. The one that it has relied on for years before October 7th and now with the ceasefire is security assistance, both security aid like FMF, equipping, training, and the presidential drawdowns of U.S. military equipment to support the LAF. It can also support the disarmament process through providing actionable intelligence, through working through the U.S. military mechanism with significant leadership to both verify the steps the LAF have taken and validate when certain steps are not taken, which, as you know, with the November 2024 ceasefire, there's a side agreement where the United States acknowledged that Israel would continue to take military action in Lebanon even though there was a ceasefire if it saw concerning Hezbollah activity, which has continued to this day. And again, there, the U.S. military role is quite important.
I'm going to try to sneak in one more question. Can any of our witnesses identify specific additional sanctions measures, including secondary sanctions on financial entities that would target Hezbollah's financial networks? Any specific advice on additional sanctions?
Yes, absolutely. On the, in addition to the financial companies that I mentioned before that are helping Hezbollah with the cash flow, there are definitely additional sanctions that need to be made, especially in the judicial system. Hezbollah has been doing what it needs to be done because it has immunity, because it has never been held accountable, whether for assassinations, money laundering, illicit activities, drug production, you name it. Today, for example, the biggest drug dealer in Lebanon, Nuh Zayter, has been released, and the government didn't do anything to keep him. They have been never held accountable in Lebanon. Judiciary system definitely needs to be targeted with sanctions. There are certain judges that needs to be targeted, and the only way to stop Hezbollah is to hold them accountable for their crimes.
Thank you. I yield back.